In 1336, a baby boy is born in a humble yurt, and history's most ambitious conqueror takes his first gulp of air. First, let's set the stage. Here's the world our story unfolds in, around 1402, with Ankara right at the heart of it. In 1363, Timur and his band of raiders are having a perfectly lovely time looting a village, until an arrow decides to redecorate his leg. The arrow bites deep. Timur's men carry him off, and the wound festers. But this shepherd-turned-robber won't let a little thing like a limp stop him. From that day, he's known as Timur the Lame. But trust us, the only thing lame about him is his leg. His ambition? Fully functional. Timur and Amir Husayn shake hands over a map of Transoxiana, grinning like two cats who just spotted a very large, very slow bird. But alliances are like wet soap, slippery, and someone always drops them. Timur and Husayn both eye the prize. Balkh, the shiny city that would make the other the top dog. Balkh falls, and Timur's smile turns into a full-blown grin as he claims the city. Husayn's smile? Let's just say it's now a frown with extra betrayal. Timur's ambition grows faster than a rumor in a bazaar. He wants it all, and that means Husayn has to go. The alliance? Consider it terminated with extreme prejudice. Husayn gets the message and runs for his life, but Timur's men are faster. They catch him, and Timur gives him a one-way ticket to the afterlife, no refunds. Timur's smile is gone. He's got Husayn cornered in Balkh, and this time, there's no wet soap, just a very sharp sword. And here's Ankara up close, where our story really plays out. The walls come tumbling down. Husayn is dragged out, his crown askew, looking like a cat caught in a rainstorm. Husayn gets a one-way ticket to the afterlife. Timur plops onto the throne, and the Chagatai realm is his. Talk about a hostile takeover. Urgench's walls are tall, but Timur's mood is taller. He gives the order, and his soldiers swarm like angry ants at a picnic. The ladders go up, the defenders panic, and Urgench's pride comes tumbling down like a bad juggling act. Now the big move, the road from Samarkand to Ankara. Victory! But Timur doesn't just take gold, he takes the city's brain. Every artisan is marched off to Samarkand, like a moving art gallery. Timur's army rolls into Persia like a bad hangover, loud, relentless, and nobody's happy to see it. Herat's walls look impressive, but Timur's brought a really big hammer. Herat surrenders faster than a cat in a bathtub. Timur strolls in, pats the city walls like a good dog, and adds Conqueror of Herat to his business cards. But Timur's not here for a petting zoo. He wants Persia, and Isfahan thinks it's tough. Big mistake. Huge. Isfahan's defenders get cheeky, killing Timur's tax collector. Timur's reaction? The opposite of chill. He orders a massacre, 70,000 skulls, coming right up. The massacre is so extra that Timur builds towers of skulls as a gentle reminder. Isfahan gets the message. Don't mess with the lame guy. But Timur's not about to let some upstart Khan crash his party. He rallies his troops with a grin that says, "You brought a horse to a sword fight." At the Battle of Kunducha, the two armies crash like two stubborn rams. Tokhtamysh's confidence evaporates faster than a puddle in the desert. Tokhtamysh's army breaks, and he hightails it out of there, his pride in tatters. Timur watches him go, chuckling like a cat that got the cream. Timur's army marches on Delhi, and the Sultan's elephants look like they've seen better days. But Timur has a plan. He's brought his own firepower, and it's about to get loud. The elephants charge, but the cannons roar, and the mighty beasts turn tail. The Sultan's army watches its secret weapon flee, and morale does a nosedive into the dirt. With the elephants gone, Delhi's gates don't stand a chance. Timur's troops pour in, and the city's wealth becomes his favorite new hobby, collecting it. Timur's army rolls into Syria like a landlord checking on rent, except the tenants are cities, and the rent is their entire existence. Aleppo's walls crumble faster than a New Year's resolution. Timur's siege engines do the heavy lifting, and the city gets a very unwanted makeover. After the dust settles, Timur doesn't just take the city, he takes the city's brain. Every craftsman, artisan, and thinker gets a one-way ticket to Samarkand. Next stop, Damascus. The city's gates slam shut, but Timur's patience is thinner than a cheap tent. He sets up camp and starts building a really big grudge. Damascus's defenders think they're clever, but Timur's engineers have a trick. They dig under the walls and make the ground disappear. Surprise! Timur's cavalry thunders across the Anatolian plain, a human tidal wave. Bayezid's Janissaries gulp, clutching their bows like children holding teddy bears. The Janissaries break and run, their discipline evaporating faster than a puddle in July. Bayezid, now alone on his horse, looks around like a lost kid at a mall. Bayezid is captured, and Timur has him wrapped in chains like a prized trout. The Ottoman Sultan, once the terror of Europe, now looks like a sulky kid in timeout. Bayezid, in his cage, gets a front-row seat to Timur's victory parade. He's not clapping, but he's definitely impressed, and a little scared. Bayezid's death in 1403 is less a tragedy and more a footnote. Timur shrugs and moves on, like a man who just finished a big meal and is already eyeing dessert. In 1402, Timur's letters flutter into Europe like glittering invitations to a party nobody wants to attend. Charles VI of France reads his and promptly decides to send gifts instead of himself. Henry III of Castile, never one to miss a diplomatic trend, sends his ambassador Clavijo on a road trip of a lifetime. Clavijo's mission: smile, nod, and don't get eaten by the local wildlife. After months of travel, Clavijo finally stands before Timur, who looks less like a conqueror and more like a disappointed landlord inspecting a new tenant. "You brought gifts?" Timur asks, eyeing the ambassador's modest luggage. After years of conquest, Timur finally rolls back into Samarkand, expecting a hero's welcome. The city cheers, but he barely notices he's already mentally renovating the place. Timur points at a patch of empty ground and declares, "Here, a mosque so huge it'll make the heavens jealous." The architects exchange nervous glances, doing quick mental math on their life expectancies. Workers haul giant stones while Timur supervises, barking orders like a foreman with a grudge. He's not building a mosque, he's building a legacy, and he wants it done yesterday. February 18th, 1405. Timur, 70 years old and still trying to conquer China, lies in a cold tent near Otrar. His body says no more, but his mustache still twitches with ambition. The physicians whisper in corners, arguing over herbs and leeches. Timur, ever the micromanager, interrupts. "Am I dying or not? I have a schedule to keep." But this is one enemy even Timur can't outmaneuver. As the cold grips his chest, the great conqueror takes one last breath. Even the grim reaper checks his clipboard. "Wait him? I need a bigger scythe." Timur's sons and grandsons circle the map, like vultures over a feast. The empire is up for grabs, and everyone wants a slice. Shah Rukh, the diplomat, wins the staring contest. He packs his bags for Herat, leaving Ulugh Beg to babysit Samarkand. Ulugh Beg sulks in Samarkand, but he's not just any governor. He's a nerd with a telescope. Science becomes his revenge. Shah Rukh, the diplomat, turns Herat into a glittering salon where poets and painters argue about the meaning of a single brushstroke. Meanwhile, in Samarkand, Ulugh Beg ignores his paperwork to stare at the stars, muttering about the universe's terrible sense of geometry. Ulugh Beg builds an observatory so precise, he can measure the length of a year to within a minute. His astronomers weep with joy. Timur's legacy is a double-edged sword. 17 million dead on one side, but on the other, a renaissance so bright it lights up the Mughal Empire. But wait, how does a guy who leaves a trail of skulls also fund poetry? Because Timur's wallet had two pockets, one for swords, one for silk. His descendants, the Timurids, Take that silk and weave it into masterpieces, paintings, poems, and buildings that make other empires jealous. So while the world remembers the terror, the Timurids ensure the beauty survives, proving that even a conqueror can have a soft spot for art.